But what about today? We're in the middle of the week. We got a lot to talk about today. All right, we do. Yesterday was kind of an interesting and important day for me because not only was I trying out an indie game, the likes of which I likely would have skipped in the past before this year's changes to my content that I've instituted, but also I tried something different during the stream that I want to now reveal to all of you to let you know how it went. But after I finished that stream playing Crisol Theater of Idols, I made a 10-minute video to give my honest thoughts about the game, and some people seem upset. To be honest, all right, I feel like right now on the internet, there is a bandwagon movement, a cultural mentality that says, hey, favor the indie game, kiss the indie game's butt, play the indie game, criticize, smash, say negative things about the AAA, but if it's indie, you must be nice. No. Sorry. That's not who I am. That's not who I'm ever going to be. As you know, in the over 17 years that I've been a gaming content creator on YouTube, I've always told it like it is. I don't pull punches. I don't sugarcoat. I don't favor anything. I'm honest. And so, if I play a game and I feel that we are in some kind of a situation where the game is not representative or is misrepresenting what it is to try to get sales, if the game doesn't live up to expectations that has laid out for itself, okay, I'm going to be honest about it. All right? And you might say, well, what are you talking about? So, yesterday I played Crisol Theater of Souls, okay? It is an indie game. It's made by a small studio, although the game was funded by Blumhouse, a company that makes high-profile horror movies. This is one of their first actual investments in a video game, okay? Crisol Theater of Souls presents itself in all of its promotional materials, notably its big launch trailer, as a game that's going to be high action, okay, with tons of weapons, abilities, variety of enemies, and scares, okay? When you play the game, the first hour to hour and a half is actually really good atmosphere building of laying out the story and the environment and the elements of the things that the game's going to be. And then for the next 2 hours, the game is completely identical, doesn't try to do anything different, doesn't give you any new weapons, doesn't give you any abilities, doesn't even give you a single new enemy to fight. It just gives you the same regurgitated crap over and over. The game suffers from what you should be calling terrible pacing. It's just terrible. Okay? Awful pacing. Whoever the game director was should have known better and say, hey, I understand atmosphere and building up suspense, but who wants to sit around for 3.5 hours with a single handgun shooting the same repetitive enemies over and over with almost no change in the environment, no change to gameplay mechanics? It's the same crap for 3.5 hours. It's boring. Okay? So I relayed that, not only in my stream of the game that I was playing, but also in my reaction video after the fact, where I clearly stated I feel the game is a bait and switch after 3.5 hours of gameplay. It says that, like, right in the title of the video, so no one would get the impression that I actually played the entirety of this game. I played the first portion, and that's the impression I got, right? So basically, after having played this game, here's how the audience reacted. Very similar to how I reacted, okay? The first hour to hour and a half, we were intrigued. Ooh, it's an interesting setup. It's kind of creepy. The idea that two cults are going at each other is kind of interesting, all right? Then, when it's 2 more hours of the same, we all got bored. It wasn't just me saying that. Everyone watching the stream got literally bored of the game. We were like, this is just not it, you know? Why you even keep playing this? It's so boring. It's the same thing over and over.
Boy, I'm gonna be honest, this is boring, dude.
And now here's the thing. I played 3.5 hours. Maybe if I had played 5 hours or 6 hours, there would have been more to it. I mean, we found the shotgun. We just hadn't been able to unlock it yet. It looks like the game's going to force you to do a lot of gameplay and backtrack to get the shotgun. How many more weapons are there in the game? I don't know. Are there ever any more abilities in the game besides just refilling your bullets with blood? I don't know. But the thing is, in 2026, Game developers need to understand one critical thing, because it's very simple. You need to hook the gamer within the first couple of hours to let us know why we want to keep playing your game. You can't have an insanely long, drawn-out intro where you're building and building and building. We got better things to do, right? Our time is valuable, and we don't want to sit around waiting for there to possibly be a payoff when you're asking so much of us when it comes to time investment. Sorry, I want to know what's good about your game before I've invested 10 hours in it. I mean, we've talked about this time and time and time again over the years. Do you remember a game that actually was really good, actually had great world design, interesting story, great gameplay elements, decent graphics, but flopped miserably? The game was called Days Gone, okay? The reason Days Gone flopped was because it was a zombie survival game with drama and survivors and different storylines set in a post-apocalyptic world. It was open world, it was third person, it had cool survival mechanics, combat mechanics, taking on giant mobs of zombies and things you'd never really done in a game before. The problem was, it took over 12 hours of repetitive base destruction gameplay before you got to the good parts. And most people tapped out before they played for 12 hours. Most game reviewers outright stated, we stopped playing this game because it's so boring within the first few hours. You need to have good pacing to have a game that's going to be successful in the modern era. Crisol does not have that. It takes the opposite route, and it very well may have good elements later in the game. It doesn't matter, because, folks, what people need to start understanding, particularly game developers and even TV show writers, is that the most valuable asset in life at this point is not money, it's time. Crisol is a cheap game. The game is under $20. And a lot of people have given me flack in this video that I made about Crisol, saying, Phil, you're being way too harsh. This isn't a AAA game that they're charging $70 for, and you're acting like that in this video. It's a game that's under 20 bucks. You should really give it a pass. No. You don't get a pass. It doesn't matter if your game costs $1, $15, $70, or $150. If your game is boring, it's always boring.
This game is fucking boring. It seriously is. The whole first 10, 20 minutes is so boring.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to pay any money for a game that is boring and isn't a fun experience. Therefore, I have the right to criticize it. Now, the thing is, right now, in the gaming community and online, there is a mentality to say indie games are better because they're cheaper. Indie games are better because they're not AAA with giant bloated budgets, and they're not samey, and they don't copy what everyone else did and put out another game just for profits. Therefore, you should kiss their butt. No. I'm not going to do that. Crisol is a game that presents itself as an action-packed, BioShock-esque game when you watch its promotional materials. I didn't make the promotional materials, they did. So if they didn't want that game to look like that, they shouldn't have presented it like that. Seriously, they actually should have just shown a few statue-like enemies and the guy shooting and some dramatic scenes, and that would have been the trailer. Now, that trailer would have looked boring because the game is boring, but it would have been representative of what the game is, and then I wouldn't have called it a bait and switch. But it is a bait and switch when you present the game in a different way that's not representative of what the actual gameplay loop will be. And again, it doesn't matter if the game is cheap or expensive. If it's not fun, I'm going to tell you that. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Crisol is just not fun. Maybe if I kept playing, it would have gotten to fun parts, much like Days Gone, where you had to play 12 hours through this grindy intro crap to get to the good parts. But that's not my fault or my problem. It's the game developer's problem.
Not my fault. Fuck this game. Fuck this stupid fucking game.
Because they have a game that's so boring up front, I bet most people who buy it will play it for 2 hours, say, what is this crap, and never touch it again. Now, you might say that's not a big deal because the game's only $15. Yes, it is. Because you've wasted 2 hours of your time. You've already made that purchase. And most people were going to be like, well, it's not a big deal because it's not expensive, but you still shouldn't get ripped off. And if you bought that game thinking it is going to be like the trailer, you got ripped off. Doesn't matter that it was cheap. That's still your money and your time that has been wasted. A lot of people just don't seem to value time well enough anymore. You have to understand we have one life to live on this planet. The older I get, the more I realize my time is more valuable than ever before because I have less of it than ever before on Earth. Therefore, I don't want to waste my time on crap. And if the game is boring, it's crap. The game is boring in my opinion. It's crap. I don't think that people should be fooled into thinking anything otherwise. So I made a video explaining that, but somehow I did it wrong. No, I didn't. You're doing it wrong if you're blindly defending the game because it's an indie game that's cheap. There is no reason whatsoever to be defending anything because it's cheap or made by a small studio. It still needs to be good. Crisol is not. That's my opinion. If you disagree, you have a right to do that. But to criticize my opinion and say it's invalid and I'm being too harsh because I'm treating it like it's a AAA game is incredibly ignorant. Bottom line. Okay? So listen, it's fine. It is what it is. If people want to disagree, go for it. They already are. And there's nothing I can do about that. If you like Crisol, good for you. All I know is I was bored of it, and so was the audience. Everyone in the chat was bored as hell. Yet again. Gorilla Pimp Chew says, what's up? I hate this boring-ass game. I would rather eat bird shit live on a stream than play this here. And here's hoping you're having a beautiful day. Thank you very much for that support, Gorilla X Pimp. I appreciate that. So why on earth am I in the wrong by making a video just resonating that feeling in verbal form for 10 minutes? Anyway, so that's what happened yesterday in regards to Crisol. All right. And so you can watch the videos. By the way, almost no one has. To give you perspective here, my video about Crisol, which is 10 minutes long, already has over 1,500 views and climbing in like 15 hours that it's been live. Okay? The actual gameplay of Crisol, the 3.5 hours, the first part has like 400 views. The other two parts barely have 200, if that. People started watching, said, wow, this is boring, and literally never continued to watch because the game is boring. Okay. So now let's get to the other thing that I want to talk about yesterday's first stream. All right. So yesterday I played Crisol Theater of Idols. This was a game that it was going to be a kind of, ooh, let's test the waters. Let's see if the game's any good. It was essentially, yes, a first part of a playthrough if I decided to start playing the game fully, but also it was kind of a first look stream, if that makes sense, where a lot of content creators do this. They essentially test the waters of a game and they call it first look rather than playthrough or I'm actually playing this game. That way, if they decide against continuing, no one says, oh, well, you're playing it, now you're dropping it. Well, no, I never was playing it. It was just a first look. Okay? So, in regards to that, all right, yesterday, when I was playing Crisol, I conducted myself a little differently than I normally would. Does anyone actually know up front what it was? I'm just curious if any of you actually figured out what the difference was between the Crisol stream and a normal stream. Let's see if anyone in chat can get it. I'm very curious. I'm going to give it a minute because remember, the chat's delayed. I'm just curious. Someone got it already. Kimikaze actually just hit it on the head. She said, there was no asking for money. You're right. If you go back and you watch the entirety of the time that I was streaming Crisol on this stream, which was 3.5 hours, okay? You're going to notice that not one time, not once, did I actually ask for a financial contribution whatsoever. Now, I did ask for engagement. I said, hey, the first part of the playthrough is the most important one. If you're on stream, please like the stream to get more engagement for the channel. If you're watching this on demand, please like the video and leave comments. What are you thinking about the game? Do you like it? Do you not? That will help this channel tremendously. I definitely said that, but not a single time did I actually say, hey, open your wallets.
I am indebted to you.
Give me money. Give me all your money.
Send me some super chats. Send me some kicks. Send me some tips. Send me some members. Send me some subs. I never said that whatsoever. I never even mentioned the ways that you can contribute. I just acted like you couldn't. Okay? Now, the thing is, I've done this before. All right? I have. I've done this before. And the last time that I did it, people gave me shit for it because they said, well, it wasn't fair. Why? Well, basically, I think it was like the day before, I'd done a marathon. And I guess during the said marathon, I had actually done pretty good. It was like a marathon where a lot of people had supported or whatever. Okay? And so they said, you know, that's not a fair experiment to see what would happen because a lot of people had given a lot of support the day before. Therefore, the day after a very successful marathon where everyone basically unloaded with support, you're going to have less support. Now, the first time that I tried this last year, you want to know how much money I made? Because I told Asmongold in our actual interview back in November, I made $30. The entire stream where I didn't ask for anything, I made $30 for over 5 hours of streaming. Okay? Not even $10 an hour. Right? But everyone says that wasn't valid. Fair enough. Let's try it again. But let me try it on a day when absolutely no one will be expecting it whatsoever. And on a day where it's going to be an interesting strategy because of the game that I was playing. Yesterday when I played Crisol, this was the very first time ever that I had played this game. And very much we were testing the waters to see if people liked the game and if this was going to be a playthrough that I was going to do in the future. Now, let's be honest. There is a pattern when it comes to the levels of support that I receive on a stream. And the pattern is usually if you really like the game I'm playing, and if I really like the game I'm playing, I'm having a great time. That comes through on the stream, and you support it. That's not always the case. For example, Street Fighter 6 right now is getting massive support, and I basically destroy the game every time I play it, saying how bad it sucks, right? The thing is, there's entertainment value there. So, knowing far well that I was playing a game where I didn't know if I was going to like it, I didn't know if you were going to like it, I thought in my head, man, here's the thing. I could ask for support on this stream. And to be honest with you guys, I know for a fact, 100% proven fact, if I had asked for support on yesterday's Crisol stream, I would have received more.
Greed is massively strong.
I may not have gotten a ton, all right? But I absolutely guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, if I had said, come on, let's get some support. I'm covering more indies this year. I'm showing you what's good and what's not. If you like this new effort, you like the fact that I'm playing more games, support this channel. If you like all the changes and improvements I've made, you like the content, support the channel. And people would have supported. I would have got memberships. I would have got some subs. I would have got some tips. I would have. It probably wouldn't have been an overwhelming amount. No one's going to quote, oh, I don't really like the game Phil's playing, but I'm still going to overwhelmingly open my wallet and support the stream. That wouldn't have happened. Okay? But I would have got more. 100%, right? There you go. Now, what did this result in? What was the result of the experiment? And how did I feel it went? And how should I conduct myself moving forward? Let's talk about that. So the result of the experiment was as follows. By the end of the stream, again, me not asking for support, I got about $80 of support. I want to say it was like $82 or something like that. Okay? Is that the worst stream I've ever had? No. In fact, to be honest, I had a worse stream on Sunday night when I did the double indie stream of Sharks and Minnows and Terminator 2D No Fate. The reason for that is very simple. I'd already played those games multiple times. In the case of Terminator 2, we were already beat it multiple times. We were just trying to see the final ending, which actually wasn't even worth the time, actually. You know, and so you're going to get some initial interest in a game like that, but you're not going to get an audience coming back a million times and throwing money at it. You know what I'm saying? So it actually wasn't even the worst stream that I had done recently, okay? But it certainly wasn't great. No one was showering me with support because I didn't ask for it, all right? There is an absolutely, positively direct correlation between how much I ask for support and how much I get. 100%, there is undisputed evidence that if I ask for support, I will get more. And if I don't ask for support, I will get less. If you take a look at the leaderboard, guys, we only have $19 in tips so far today for the stream. When I come back, I'm going to be here between an hour and an hour and a half. If people are thinking of contributing to the stream to hit the tips goal today and keep the vest streak going, when I come back from break, please do it as soon as possible, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to have people who are going to be screaming, oh my God, the vest streak, and I'm not going to be able to concentrate and have fun with the game if people are doing that. So if you're thinking of contributing today, when I come back from break, please contribute, all right? All right, I'll be back in a bit. All right, so then why didn't I ask for support yesterday? Didn't I want more? Yes, I did. Of course I did. Of course I did. Come on. Let's be honest here. We all want more support. We all could use more support, right? That's not begging. That's business. So why didn't I ask for it? Well, there's two reasons, okay? One reason is because if I was going to play Crisol and I was actually going to try to gauge audience interest in the game fairly, all right? The very first stream is the stream where you need to see if people are liking what they're seeing. And if you're saying, hey, support the stream, and people shower you with support, that could artificially inflate the level of positivity that the game actually deserves. Do you see what I'm saying? Captain Jean-Luc Picard dies in front of your face and gives you a necklace to give to his side hose bastard child. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, let's say I was halfway through the stream and I was like, oh, guys, come on, we're only at like $60 to support. Let's go. Let's get some subs. And then someone feeling, you know, I'll help Phil. They drop 10 subs, right? And so I'll help Phil and I drop a $50 tip. Now, all of a sudden, I got like $200, right? It's like, oh, well, you see, Crisol did well. Well, no, in reality, Crisol's the same game. It's not that good. It's still boring. But people might have showered me with support because I asked for it. So if you do that on the first stream of any game, you're basically artificially inflating its popularity. Does that make sense? I think it does. If the premier stream of any game that I play, whether it's an indie game, whether it's a AAA game, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if I had done that yesterday, I wouldn't have been doing the right thing. And therefore, it would have not made sense because now, let's say the Crisol stream made $200, right? So now I might be like, oh, I should do it again. But no one likes the game, including me, right? And to be honest, what will end up happening, okay, is very simple. We're going to end up with another truck sim. We're going to end up with another situation where people are showering me with support and we keep playing the game, even though, quite frankly, the game is kind of boring and not that interesting. Okay, and not to say that I didn't like Truck Sim at first, because I did, but after a couple months of Truck Sim, it got played out. But we played it all year because I kept getting showered with support every stream, right? So the truth is, it's hard to judge how to handle this stuff. It really is. Do I ask for support every stream because then I'll do better as a business and, you know, I'll be able to support my family better and improve the setup better and buy more games? Or do whenever I play a game for the very first time, do I actually make this just judgment that I should not ask for support? That way, if people do support the game, it's genuine because they like it. Or I just, you know what I'm saying? Or they don't support it because they don't like it and they genuinely don't want it to continue, right? Now, admittedly, this is kind of a double-edged sword for me because although it'll be better to try more games to find the hidden gems that we're all going to love and will end up being ongoing playthroughs that get lots of support, the more games that I take chances on means another chance that a game is going to suck and now no one will support it. You see what I'm saying? If I play 5 games this week and out of those 4 games we know everyone loves and will support and 1 is a wild card, versus this week I play 10 games, 6 games are wild cards and all of them suck, that might be 6 dead streams. So do you see the situation I'm in right now, where there's no real way to determine exactly how to go forward because it's new ground for me, right? I don't know if is it right whenever I play a brand new game, should I just not even mention support and let people genuinely and organically support that stream? I don't know. Right? I'm very curious about what to do about this, right? The funny part about yesterday, undoubtedly, is my detractors were fucking losing their shit. They couldn't stand the fact that I hadn't hit the phantom goal that doesn't exist, and I wasn't asking for support. They were tearing at their clothes. There was fucking 10, 20, 30 sock accounts all typing in chat. You're not hitting the goal. Why aren't you asking for support? They couldn't take it. They lost their fucking minds because their little pea walnut-sized fucking brains can't comprehend that I'm smarter than them and that I have the intelligence to try to conduct experiments and do things like this to try to figure out how to handle stuff moving forward. And it's not all about money. It's not. It's just money, 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 man. Okay? In fact, to be honest, it's better off, way better off, that we figure out the right thing to do than just have me sitting here begging for money every stream. Because long-term success is more important than temporary short-term success. Even though I might have a bunch of great streams this week, if I don't know what to do long-term, next week might suck. I might be out of ideas, might be out of games to play. So let's actually work on this together and figure it out, right? So, we have Clout Siffler, who for 3 months as a member says, can we run a poll to get a yes or no to continue Crisol? No, I'm not continuing Crisol. I'm super bored of the game. The audience was super bored of the game, right? The support was representative of that level of boredom. The videos aren't getting any views on them. I told you, parts 2 and 3 don't even have like 200, 300 views. No one cares about this game. It's dead. So, no, I'm not playing Crisol again. That's actually why, if you noticed at the end of the stream, what I ended up doing was trying to finish that safe puzzle. Because again, I wanted to have like the final end of my gameplay of it was, hey, let's do this puzzle, let's finish it. I'm not wasting time on a game like that. I'm just not. My time is my most valuable asset. It's not money, it's time. Time is the most valuable thing to me right now. I need to be doing smart and wise things with my time and not wasting it on games that just ain't it. And sorry, Crisol, just, it's not it.
Gorilla Pimp Chew says, what's up? I hate this boring-ass game. I would rather eat bird shit live on a stream than play this here. And here's hoping you're having a beautiful day. Thank you very much for that support, Gorilla X Pimp. I appreciate that.